Good morning. This morning I'm going to take you on a walking tour of the gay clubs, bars, and bathhouses of the Capitol Hill section of Seattle's Pike Pine corridor. And we will start here with the Cuff Complex. The Cuff was opened in 1993 as a Levi's and leather bar. They have 4 different bars inside and a back patio, a dance floor, DJ booth. Great place. I don't come to bars much anymore, but up until about 2020 when I was, this was one of my favorite places. All right, we'll take you down here. It is the 4th of July, 2025, about 5:30 in the morning. Kind of quiet out still. We are coming to the corner of 13th and Pike here. Show you some murals in the neighborhood. Oddly enough, there isn't a strong sense of sulfur in the air. All night long I was hearing fireworks. Even though the 4th of July celebrations take place tonight, people tend to get their fireworks and start setting them off early, and they continue doing it all weekend. Now in this video, I'm going to show all the gay bars, clubs, and bathhouses of the Pike Pine corridor. There are some places that are not in the Pike Pine corridor. Morning. And I do apologize for leaving those out. All right, here on the corner, on this weird triangle-shaped corner block, is Pony. This used to be a gas station. Pony's kind of a smaller bar. They got a patio. They are famous for wallpaper that is gay porn. And they also have a glory hole in the bathroom. Go around the block here, kind of show you the whole thing. When I moved to Seattle in 2009, I came here once with the guy I was seeing, and see, it's literally a triangle. And we were making out on the back patio, and some bar employee, I forgot if it was a bartender or just some person who worked there, made a nasty comment about, "Get around." And I wanted to say, well, there's literally gay porn on the walls here, and I'm just making out. But anyways, it sort of soured me on coming back. I'm sure it's a great place, and I'm sure that person probably doesn't even work there anymore, but you know how it is. You go to a business or a restaurant, coffee shop, and you have one crummy experience and you decide, screw it, I'm not going back. All right, so this little, we're on Union Street right now. So it technically isn't the Pike corridor, but very close, just south of Pike. Coming up here on 14th and Union. Some new construction here on my left. You see that a lot in Seattle. All right. So we're coming up here on Diesel. Diesel opened in, I think, 2011 as a place that caters mostly to the beer community, but anybody's welcome there. It's kind of a small place. All are welcome here. Now this location has been a gay bar before it was Diesel. It's had a couple names over the years. I think it was called Hombres in, I think, the 90s. And then it became the Sea Wolf in, I want to say, the early 2000s. Those predate my time in Seattle, but that's what I've heard from the old timers. All right, we are coming to the kind of the 5-point section of Madison, Pike, and 14th. We'll cross here. There's Chop Suey, and Chop Suey isn't necessarily a gay bar, but they host a lot of gay events. So very gay friendly. They call it more alternative. And here we're coming to Madison Pub on Madison Street. Madison Pub is a sports bar, gay sports bar. That was one of those places I went into when I first came to Seattle. Pretty low-key place, friendly people. But this section of the Pike Pine corridor is sort of, it's not close to where I live and where I work, so not a place I get to all the time. All right, so we will continue down on Madison. I'm gonna strike that. I'm gonna go up here to Pike. Pardon my sniffles. Every summer in Seattle I get sniffly. I think it's because I'm not used to the foliage here, having grown up in the desert in Southern California. Different flora and fauna there. All right, going down Pike. Coming to 12th and Pike. Can I cross the street on the light? I can. Nobody's coming. All right, so here on my right is Unicorn. I think they opened in 2010. This is one place I've never been inside. I know they have a downstairs bar as well. Very colorful, circus themed inside. They host a lot of drag type events. It really isn't my thing, so I've never been there. But I do recommend you try it out if you like that type of thing and you like a colorful atmosphere. All right, we are now coming to the corner of 11th and Pike, the location of the Wild Rose, the only lesbian bar that I'll be showing today. And again, that's another place I've never been inside for obvious reasons. But they're a staple. They've been around for a long time, and if you're a lesbian, I suggest you check them out. All right, we'll show you the entrance here of the Wild Rose. And right on the side is now I've been corrected over the years on this, but my general understanding is that it is a bathhouse for women, that is lesbians. But it's called the Hot House. And this is where you would enter. But again, like everything in modern times, I think that's changed a bit. All genders now. All right, we are going to cross Pike on 11th and show you the next bar on our list here. So this, where we're standing now, where I'm walking now, this was part of the Capitol Hill occupied protest, or CHOP, also known as Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, or Free Seattle 5 years ago during the COVID shutdown. I think I'll make another video about that in the future. If you want to catch that, subscribe to me so you don't miss it. All right, so this is the Queer Bar. This used to be a place called Per Cocktail Lounge. Not very big. They host a lot of drag events there. Haven't been there since it became Queer Bar, but I did go a few times when it was called Per. Small place, but it was fun. And this is Cal Anderson Park. Again, big part of the chop zone. And right here, I don't know if you can see it very well, is the Black Lives Matter. They painted onto the street. It's severely faded at this point. Nobody takes care of it. I'm surprised there aren't a bunch of leaves on it. Most of the year it's filled with leaves and trash. But somebody cleaned it up recently, I think. This is one of the few 24-hour eateries. Used to be called Rancho Bravo, but now they're called Burrito California. So you also have this place, and you have, I think, IHOP is 24 hours. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it might be. All right. And of course, Club Z in Seattle, which I'll show you later, are both 24-hour operations. So the next place I'm going to show you is not a gay bar, club, or bathhouse, but it used to be a gay bathhouse or sex club. It's now called the Lost Lake Cafe. It's a diner. It used to be 24 hours until a few years ago, but you know, we can't have nice things in Seattle because people abuse it, so it's no longer 24 hours. But this used to be a bathhouse called Basic Plumbing. I think up until about 2010 or 11. It was the downstairs mainly. They had a reception area in the top, but the club itself was downstairs. There wasn't a lot to it. You know, they had rooms and glory holes and showers and bathrooms, but nothing beyond that. All right. We're now at the corner of Pike and 10th. There's Numos, not a gay venue, but they have a lot of music acts that come there. Okay, I am coming now to probably the most interesting intersection in this area. Pike and Broadway. Now it's pretty early in the morning, so I probably won't have many interactions here, but we'll see. As you can see, there's a lot of trash, especially on a Sunday morning or a Saturday morning after a big event, especially in the summer. This place is covered in trash. I'll go this way and show you Neighbors. Neighbors claims, I believe it is, to be the oldest gay club in operation in Seattle. They opened in, I believe, 1983. Pretty big place. They've got an upstairs area. They've got a stage across here. No one's coming. They originally opened in Vancouver, Canada. That's why the spelling is so Britishy. I know the longtime bar manager, Joe, and Steamworks, we usually sponsor some of their events, some of their big events, like this one called Leo Party that he does every year. It's a sort of a benefit party. The proceeds go to a charity. All right, we are coming down Pike. I showed this little stretch in a previous video of mine. It was on a Sunday afternoon, so there were more people walking about. We are heading west towards downtown right now. One thing you'll see a lot in Capitol Hill are these telephone poles that are full of posters. So full that they sort of jut out. I like it. Oh look, you know, our poster for Steamworks. I pay a company called Polite Society to put those up for me. All right, got a few little shops and restaurants here across the street. One I will point out, not a gay bar, club, or bathhouse, but it is the leather shop, Doghouse Leathers. Across the street and show you a little closer. This place is pretty iconic. They had a previous location up near the intersection of Madison and Pike. The owners were previously the managers of Cuff, and that's how I got to know Jeff and his partner Dan, and knew Jeff a little better. Jeff passed away a few years back. Dan is still running that place. And over the years, I've had guys that worked there who came to work at Steamworks, and back and forth. All right, we'll cross here. I'll show you the next gay club on the list here. Right here on my left, there is the old Amazon Go store, which is closed now. It seems we just can't keep a grocery store in this neighborhood. I don't know why. We still have the QFC, but this closed. And because last month the Whole Foods closed. The Whole Foods on Broadway and Madison. I don't understand it, really. Everyone has their opinion, of course, but the Whole Foods is always busy. Not like people weren't going there. All right, we are coming to the corner of Boylston and Pine. Closer to my place. I won't show you that. But I will show you the old Our Place, which is now called Massive. It's an old brick building, part of the old auto row buildings. Three floors, very big. They are now operated by a group of people that includes longtime Seattle DJ Kevin Cower, also known as Narc. Steamworks, we sponsored some of his Dick's Lap parties that were at the Eagle, which I'll show you here in a bit. Back in the teens, the 20 teens. All right, coming down Pine. And the next place I will show you will be Steamworks. My bread and butter. I'm just gonna, of course, show you the outside because I'm not working right now. And if I go inside, I'm sure the staff are gonna have something to ask me, or so I'll just show you the outside. At a later video, I will do a tour of Steamworks for you. So again, subscribe to me so that you don't miss that. Coming to the corner of Summit and Pine. All right. I walk on the opposite side of the street because if the guys see me filming, they're probably gonna think, what the heck is Chris doing out there? We have surveillance cameras all around the place. So that's the Steamworks building, the gray one with the yellow doors. It is a 100-year-old building. Again, it's part of the old auto row section here of Capitol Hill. And before Steamworks acquired it in 2008, it was a club called Club Seattle, a bathhouse called Club Seattle. And they had been in operation since 1981. See, I have my American flag out. I debated with the facility manager whether we should put it out or not. Here in far lefty Seattle, the American flag is sometimes interpreted in different ways. And he said, put it out, it's 4th of July. We put it out every 4th of July. Why not? Morning.
Filming a documentary?
Yeah, something like that. All right, so we are coming to the corner of Pike and Summit. And I will show you the last couple of places here on my list. Going down the hill, you'll start to see some of the downtown buildings up here. Capitol Hill, the buildings are usually, no higher than, I think, 7 stories. They have certain limits. But of course, downtown, you've got skyscrapers and typically very tall buildings that you see in any downtown area. All right. We are coming to the corner of Bellevue and Pike and getting closer to the Eagle, the longest running leather bar in Seattle, or at least the oldest. I don't know if they're the longest running. There might have been some longer running ones back in the day, but this is the Eagle. I love this place. It's very small, although they do have a second story. They also have a back patio. But back when I was coming to bars, I loved this place. All right, we are, again, like I told you, getting closer to downtown here, and I'll show you the last venue on my list, which is Club Z, or Club Zodiac. Now, this is my main competitor in town, my last standing competitor after Basic Plumbing closed. Here's the Starbucks roastery. If you want to stand in line behind a bunch of tourists and get a $10 cup of coffee, that's the place you come do it. So there is Club Z. It's a 3-story building. I think it was an old hotel at one point. It's got that feel to it. And the last time I was in there was in 2020 because, as you know, Steamworks had to close because of the governor's stay-at-home order. And I was curious, why do they get to stay open, but I can't? So I went over there. checked in. I think they were allowed to stay open because their business license, they have a different business license. They're licensed as a social organization, whereas Steamworks were licensed as a gym or a health club. And there's a little wiggle room there for them to stay open. All right, I will cross here and give you a little view of downtown, the new convention center. Before I stop this video. All right. Well, remember to like and subscribe and do all that stuff for me. Until I see you again, peace.